As an eBay seller, one of the tools we have to help buyers understand the items that they are buying is product descriptions. A good description can be the difference between a happy customer and a return, so it's very important to get it correct. In today's video, I'm going to share my exact templates I use for product descriptions and why I refuse to use AI to write product descriptions. I just want to get this out of the way right now. I always use a product description no matter what item I am selling. Now, yes, it is absolutely true that a lot of buyers will never read a product description, will never even look at it. So a lot of sellers won't even bother to write a product description because they know a lot of buyers will never even read it. However, I have personally found that it has helped me lower my return rate, especially when it comes to iNads, and it only takes me about 30 seconds to create an accurate and informational based product description for the items I am listing. eBay descriptions run a huge range. Everything from the guy that writes a whole novel about the product and all the condition details and all the item specifics and writes it all in the description field, all the way to the seller who doesn't write anything. All they do is put a period or an I or an NA and they move on. But personally for me, what I like to do is focus on the information that the buyer actually needs in order to make an informed purchase. I don't need to include anything other than factual information that the buyer would want to actually know before they ever purchase the item. When I write my product descriptions, I like to think like the buyer. If I was going to purchase this item, what information would I want to know? And if I received the item and it had a stain or a flaw or a scratch or a dent in it, would I have wanted to know about that in the product description? Did I miss it in the photos? Did I not quite capture that photo of that scratch or that dent well enough? And that's where the product description can really help you out. I also just assume that the buyer is blind or at least didn't even bother to look at the photos. I assume that the buyer looked at maybe the first two photos and didn't get all the way into the last couple photos where maybe that's where I pointed out the flaws. So maybe they looked at the first couple photos and then went down to product description, and if you just have NA there, they might have missed that there was a flaw in the item. Where I personally want to make sure in that product description it is clearly stated any issues with the item. Now, eBay has a tool that will help you write product descriptions. You can use ChatGPT or any other AI software out there to help you write these product descriptions. However, I absolutely hate them all. For one, the AI thinks that it's trying to become the world's best salesman and it has to sell your products. It will write a whole thing about how this item is the best item, what you can do with this item, how the item is used. It's going to include a bunch of useless information that the buyer never actually needs. And number two, all of that information just bogs down the buyer. I want the buyer to go down there and find the information they actually need. When AI writes it and it talks about a long story about how this was an antique item from the 1960s and it shows great aging and it was used in woodworking shops across America and it goes on and on and on, the buyer never reads any of that. And I think that's where this misconception of the buyers don't read the description comes from. Because me personally as a buyer, if I go on the platform and I start seeing a bunch of AI garbage written in there, I'm not going to skim all that AI garbage. I'm going to be like, a robot wrote this, I'm not even interested in reading it. If I wanted that product information, I could go to Google and find it. However, I'm already looking at this item, so I know I want this item. I just want to make sure that I want the exact item that you're selling, and I don't need to necessarily be sold on the idea of the item. As a buyer, the only things I want to know about are the condition, any issues the item has, and what is included. That's it. I personally don't want or even need to read a whole story about the item. I don't need AI to sit there and try to sell me on the item. I want to buy the item. I'm just reading the product description to make sure that there wasn't something in the photos that I personally missed. This is even more true for pre-owned items. To be perfectly honest, if you sell brand new sealed items, I personally don't think you necessarily need a product description because the customer knows exactly what they're getting, and if you photograph the item well and use the actual photos from the item, there is really no need to write a product description. However, if you're selling something pre-owned, if it's pre-owned, there is some amount of wear somewhere on that item, whether it's a scratch, a dent, a stain, a little bit of pilling, whatever it is on the item. By definition, it being pre-owned, there's going to be some kind of wear. So you want to make sure that you include that in your product descriptions. The product description is also the place where you can start to lower your return rate, especially when it comes to INADs. If you never mention that the item had a stain, a scratch, a dent, or doesn't work in your product description, it's really hard to argue it with the customer, and it's even more hard to argue it with eBay. Where if it's clearly written in the product description that this item was broken, dented, scratched, had a stain on it, whatever the flaw is, if it's clearly written and documented in the listing, it's very difficult for a customer or eBay to argue with you that they missed this. If you hide it in the photos and you point at it or whatever you do in the photos to help people see these stains or scratches, they might still miss it. One, they might not have gone through all the photos, and two, even if they see the photo, they might not get a full grasp of how big the scratch is or whatever. I personally have found that when I use my product templates, that I saw a huge decrease in the amount of returns that I got because the customers knew exactly the item that they were receiving. I also tend to avoid vague words. I hate seeing things like this item is in great condition, it's in good condition, it's in fair condition. I don't know what that means. For me, great condition might mean something different than what the buyer thinks great condition is. So I tend to avoid those words. The only things I want to do in the product description is use actual factual information. The item has a flaw on the right arm, the pants have a rip on the bottom left leg, the CD has a scratch on the back, the box is dented on the side. Whatever it is, I want it to be factual information. I don't want to say that it's great condition or good condition. Like, who am I to judge the condition of the item? I want to state facts and then let the customer determine whether that's good or great or whether that meets the item that they're actually looking for. Before I break down all my individual product description templates, I wanted to let you guys know that I created a Facebook page. If you want more reselling content, including some great bolos, be sure to head over there and give me a follow. The link is in the description. So I'm actually just going to read you my templates and explain them to you while I'm looking at them on the computer. So for hard goods, new items in the box, I say this item is brand new in a sealed box. Please see photos for product description. That's it. I just want to note that the item is sealed in the box, if it's sealed, because I want that stated in the listing so that way if the customer returns it and the seal is broken, and I can withhold some of that return from them because they opened the item or used the item. For new items in open box, I say this is a brand new, never used or installed item in an open box or packaging. Please see photos for product information and what is included. I will also note anything that is missing from the packaging, and I will also note any wear on the packaging or the item. If the box has some shelf wear, I'll say the box shows some shelf wear, including maybe color fading or some dented corners or marks on the box. Whatever kind of flaws are there, I want to make sure that that is included when I'm selling new items in open box. I also want to clearly state that this item is brand new, but in an open box. Now, if I'm not sure if the item has been used or installed, then it goes into the used category. I'm not going to sell something that I'm not positive on. However, if I know for a fact that this item was just opened, maybe I opened it, maybe I bought it from someone that I know and they opened it, or I can just tell that the item was opened but never actually used or installed, that's when I use this category. For pre-owned items, I state any flaws right in the beginning. I want this to be the first thing that someone sees when they scroll down to the product description. I want it to state whether it has a scratch, a dent, marks, any kind of smell or odor, whatever the flaw might be on this pre-owned item, I'm going to put it in detail here. That the box has a dent on the side, or that this VCR DVD combo has a scratch across the faceplate. Whatever the flaw is, I'm going to put that as my very first sentence when I'm listing pre-owned items. After I've disclosed all the actual flaws that I see, I then use this kind of catch-all phrase. This is a pre-owned item that may show signs of use and age. Please see photos for full condition of item, what is included, and product information. I say this because some people that buy on eBay, it might be their first time ever buying a pre-owned item, and they might not understand that just because I didn't point out this little hair over here or this little dent or scratch over here, that there is still a chance that there is something that shows that it's pre-owned. Whether it's just some minor scuffing, whatever it is, I want this catch-all phrase to be in there so that they understand that this is in fact a pre-owned item, that it has been used, and that this is not going to come in brand new condition. For pre-owned items that require any kind of testing, things from like video games to electronics to CDs, whatever it is, if it requires some amount of testing, I'm going to change up my wording just slightly. I'm still going to start out with describing any of the flaws. So whether it has that dent, scratch, or mark on it, I'm going to detail that first. But then I'm going to add the phrase tested and working. I'm going to say this item has a scratch on the front right corner. This item is tested and working. This is a pre-owned item that may show signs of use and age. Please see photos for full condition of item, what is included, and product information. Now, if this item requires batteries in order to be used, I will also say batteries are not included. Now, I never want to be storing things with batteries in them. Batteries start to corrode over time, and I don't want to even think about having batteries sitting out there and worrying about having to change them out. I also don't want to say that batteries are included and then send them a battery that's dead and they're like, oh, well, the battery was supposed to be in there, but it's not working, and then it opens an INAD. So I just cut that right out of the equation, and I always say batteries are not included. For parts or repair items, so these are items that I either have not tested or I've tested and they're broken, they will be sold for parts or repair. That is one of the categories that you can choose. For this listing, instead of starting out by describing the flaws, I start out with this statement. This item is being sold as is for parts or repair only. This item has not been tested. I want that to be the very first thing. I want to make it very clear that this item is broken, is being sold as is for parts and repair only. I do not accept returns for parts or repair items anyways. So I always want to say it's being sold as is for parts or repair, and I want to include that the item has not been tested. After that, I go on to describing any flaws. Just because the item's broken, I still have to go in and describe the flaws. So I might say this item has a scratch on the front right side. Anything that the customer might want to know. Then I still use my statement, this is a pre-owned item that shows signs of use and age. Please see photos for full condition of item, what is included, and product information. I typically don't go into describing why the item's broken or what pieces are broken on the item. I typically try to avoid that, especially with electronics. Just because I found one thing that's broken on this electronic item doesn't mean that I found all the things that are broken on it. So I tend to stay away from saying that this item powers on and reads discs, however it doesn't display on the TV. Whatever it is, I try to avoid going into too much detail on these items. I'm selling for parts or repair items very cheap because I'm not wanting to have the item returned to me, and because I don't want to do all the testing. If I sat there and wanted to do all the testing, then I might as well have repaired the item to start with. If I have to start diagnosing what the problem is with the item, then I should be charging more for it. But for me, as soon as I find that an item's not working and it's not a simple fix, it immediately just goes to parts or repair only. I'm not in the business of repairing items. I'll sell it to someone else who might buy it, repair it, and then resell it again. Whatever the case is, I just want to make sure that I'm not claiming that this is the only problem with the item and then they get it and say, hey, like you said that it powered on, but it doesn't power on now, or you said that it reads discs, but it doesn't actually power on. Like whatever it is, I don't want to get into an arguing match on these kind of items. So I just simply say, I have not tested the item and it's being sold as is for parts or repair only. Now for pre-owned clothing, I have a few more things I like to add. So I still start out by describing any flaws. I want that right at the beginning of my product description. So if it has a stain or a rip on the bottom right pant leg, that's going to be stated right off the bat. And then it's going to go into, this is a pre-owned item that may show signs of wear and use. Please refer to photos for full condition of item and measurements. Measurements in photos are provided as estimates only and are not exact. We do our best to provide accurate photos of all our items. Please note, clothing is photographed using photography lighting, and color and shade may vary under natural light. All pre-owned clothing is cleaned/washed to eBay standards. Now, I have adopted some of this into my pre-owned clothing because of some INADs that I've gotten. For the measurements, I want to make sure that they understand that the measurements are just an estimate, because I've sent things out and then people will pull their ruler out and measure it and say, hey, you're a half an inch off, you're a quarter inch off, you didn't fully describe it, and they're going to open up an INAD. So in the listing, I just say that the measurements are provided as an estimate and are not exact, because everyone measures a little bit different. I measure pit to pit and top to bottom. However, I've seen it where someone says that my measurements are off and then they're measuring down at the belly or something, and of course the measurements are going to be slightly different down there. So I just want to make it clear to the customer that these are just provided as a courtesy and that they're not exact measurements. Typically, the person that's complaining about this isn't someone that's actually concerned about the quarter inch. What they are doing is that they don't want the item anymore and they're trying to find an INAD so that they don't have to pay for the return shipping, and that they can just put the blame on you rather than saying, hey, this shirt just didn't fit me. The other thing I do is I talk about photography lighting and natural lighting. Now, I try to get my photos looking as natural as they can. However, color changes depending on the lights. So if you take photos inside your house and then you go outside with the shirt, it's going to look slightly different. If you take photos under photography lighting and then you go into an office setting, it's going to look different than the lighting in your house. It's just part of clothing. However, some people, once again, will use this to have INADs to try to force returns on items. So I've even had it where I sold something that I called gray. The person got it and said that they wanted a light gray shirt and that this was just a gray shirt. And I'm like, yes, I know it's a gray shirt. It says it in the listing. Now, unfortunately, there's not much you can do about this, but I like to put that phrase in there. And I've actually noticed that I've received less complaints about the colors after I put that statement in my listings. I like to keep the colors very simple. I run on a box of like 6 to 12 crayon colors. I'm not going into light gray, dark gray. I'm just gonna say gray, because it's a lot harder for a customer to argue that the item isn't gray than it is for them to say, hey, this isn't a light gray, this is a medium gray, this is a dark gray. It's a lot harder to argue off of the basic color chart than like the very detailed color chart. So the more detailed in your color descriptions you get, the more returns you are opening yourself up to. The final statement in clothing about it being cleaned and washed is a requirement from eBay. eBay actually requires in their terms of service that you say in your listing that all of your clothing has been washed to eBay standards. I don't know what eBay standards are. They don't really define it, but they want you to say that in your listings, and eBay has taken down people's listings over not having this in there. So it's something simple that I just add to the template, and I don't have to worry about it going forward because it's always there, and the customer knows that the item has been washed and cleaned. I do actually clean all of my clothing that I get. I throw it in the wash, then I bring it in and photograph it. I wouldn't want to sell someone something that has a smell or an odor to it. So I personally know I would want to receive the item washed and cleaned, and by me saying this in the listing, the person also knows that the item is washed and cleaned. There are a ton of different ways to write product descriptions, and I don't think there's any right way or wrong way. Whatever works best for you is the system that you should be using. However, I do think there's two good guidelines. One is that your description should be short. People don't want to sit there and read a book about your used t-shirt. They just want the information that is actually needed. They don't want to read a whole novel about where the shirt came from. And I think that you should include factual information rather than saying your item is in great condition. Describe any of the flaws and let the customer decide whether they think the item is in great condition. Let me know down in the comments what you guys use for descriptions when you're selling different items. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to love this one. So go ahead and give it a click.